Hello everyone, welcome to PHTV Channel 4. I'm Sue Jankowski. Today in our Around Palos show, we're doing a public service announcement, and we bring you Officer John Parnitsky. Ooh, I did it right. That's a tough one, John.
You got it right, yes.
Officer Parnitsky is here with us today because we have some concerning issues around town regarding some crime that's happening. And you actually, Officer Parnitsky, you've actually, they've done some calls in town about this actual problem that seems to be happening not just in our city, but in surrounding cities. So before we go any further, why don't you tell us what that little situation is?
Yeah, what we're seeing is we're seeing a marked increase in overnight burglaries to motor vehicles and thefts of motor vehicles. Now, like you said, this is happening in all the cities, the south suburbs. What I'm noticing is there is a common theme that we're seeing. These vehicles are unlocked, and a lot of times with the vehicles that are being taken, the keys are in the vehicles. So what we're trying to do is to get to all the residents in the city is this focus of lock it or lose it, to lock your cars, to keep the keys out of the vehicles and keep valuables out of sight. It's a common thing, this lock it or lose it, that a lot of the cities are moving to, and we're trying to get a lot of success with it. And that's kind of what we're doing. Okay.
I know this has been an ongoing problem for a little while, and really it seems like such a simple solution when you think about it, just removing the valuable items in your car. Actually, even items that you might not think are valuable but look like a wallet or something else, where you might as well just take it out of the car or maybe put it under your seat or something.
Right, right. What we're seeing with these overnight burglaries, they are going through the city and just feeling on door handles. They're fishing, in essence. They're looking for any car that is unlocked, and then they're looking to see, hey, what is in there? They're in and out in a matter of seconds. And the thing that is important is none of these are, you're not seeing any force use. You're not seeing broken glass or any ways that they're trying to get into the vehicles. If it's not unlocked, they're moving on to the next one. So it really is as simple as just making sure your cars are locked, locking your home, just the simple things that you overlook in a busy day, but to really make it a point to every night, are the cars locked, is the house locked, and you wouldn't see as many as we are.
Okay, start making it a habit to kind of check through, make sure. And you know, with the keys today, you just stand at your back door and, you know, if your car's not in the garage, you can lock it. You don't even have to go outside and make sure it's locked. So you might want to start doing that. I think, too, with the key fobs now, where you have the keyless ignition, does that make it a little easier for people to just say, I'm just going to leave that in my car. It doesn't, you know, they don't know they can start the car.
Yeah, it's the point where people get into the day-to-day, it's an ease. You get lulled into the security that I have a key fob in there, or hey, this is just part of my car, it's not something I need to take with me, because no longer are you putting a key in the ignition or something that you need to tie to your house keys. But that's something that we want to strongly preach, is to keep the keys with you, keep them out of the car. And again, if just a simple thing of locking the car, like you said, if it's something, you can do it from inside your home. You can hear that chirp of your car more than likely, and we're going to see that is going to prevent almost all of these.
Okay, so some people have alarms on their car. I guess not everybody has a car alarm, but they can activate that too if they do have an alarm.
Sure, yes, yeah.
That's a good thing to do. And then the other thing is, even though maybe you checked your own house and cars, your vehicles, you might be seeing something that looks suspicious outside your own property. What should you do if you see someone?
Sure, it's the same thing we recommend. If you see something, say something. Report it to 911. If it's something you see in your neighbor's yard, make that report to us, so then that way we can respond. Now we see a lot with these video doorbells that people become part of communities within the doorbell themselves. These are all great tools that we could use, because the real big thing here is to preach is prevention. We've tried to get this out in all sorts of media, whether it be on our Facebook page, on Twitter, to make calls to the homes. We've been posting signs out, and we have digital billboards on Harlem and near the community. We're really trying to get the word out to remember to make these crime prevention steps, to lock your doors, to do these simple things, keep valuables out of sight. I know I'm saying it again, but this is the overwhelming thing. As long as you're doing these things, you're going to see these stop. You're going to see whoever is committing these crimes move on to the next city or community.
You know, I think too, some of us who've been around a long time, particularly in the same neighborhood, some people are like, well, we never had to lock our cars, and we didn't really lock our doors, and really it's not that big of a deal, or it's not going to happen to me. But these things are no longer true.
Right, and I guess it is. We live in a safe community. You get into that false sense of security as this is a safe community. These are nonviolent crimes. These are just thefts that are happening, but this is something that we can stop and 100% prevent. This isn't unique to Palos Heights. It's happening in every town, in Tinley Park, as high as Wilmette, and there's no one specific area. Any of the suburbs are being targeted. So the big thing we can do is make our citizens and our residents what we call hard targets. Make it harder for these criminals to get into these vehicles, or when they notice that if they're out here and they're not having success getting into the vehicles, they're going to move on and they're going to go to a different area. They're going to know, hey, the citizens of Palos Heights, they're locking their stuff. They're moving on, so we need to move to a different area.
And really, there's nothing particular like to watch out for, like one day is not worse than another. It's just any day of the week. No,
there's no one particular day. It's happening in the early morning hours. There's no certain day, and what we're finding is really Palos Heights is, in a sense, a way that you're easily accessible to most parts of the town from major highways. So it's not one particular area of town. Everyone in the area is vulnerable to it, so the key is just, again, to lock your doors and lock everything, keep everything out of sight.
Sounds so easy, doesn't it? I mean, it really is an easy solution to a problem that's kind of a big problem. If it's your car, your house, and cars are being stolen too, not just the contents of the car, but cars have been vanishing as well.
We have the amount of car thefts we've had this year compared to last year in total have tripled. The amount of car burglaries has increased by a multiple of 5. So these are things that are happening at an increased rate, but it's because there's a situation where they're being allowed to. The vehicles that are taken, every one of them have had the keys in them. There's not any force taken.
Oh, wow.
So it's just a simple matter of taking these steps to prevent them.
You know, something to think about too, a lot of people have their garage door openers either connected right to the car, or it's separate from the car, but it's also in the car. And if they can get into your car, it seems like they could take your garage door opener, and that would lead to being able to get inside your house.
Right. We are seeing that is a scenario that is playing out. Again, it all starts with that unlocked car door, but another thing to think of course, we know don't keep your purse in the car, don't keep electronics, don't keep things that someone can see and say, hey, this is something I want, but it's taking that garage door opener and putting it somewhere that isn't visible. Because yes, if your car is unlocked and they have a garage door opener or access to it, we are seeing sometimes where they are opening that overhead garage door to check cars in the garage. And again, another thing to think of, are you leaving keys in the garage? Are there things where if we open that garage and get in there, are they able to then take keys and leave with one or if not more of those vehicles in the house or driveway? Okay.
Well, that's really important. Now, I think that sometimes some viewers probably call 911 frequently, and then there's some viewers who think, well, I don't want to bother the police department. I'm not going to call 911. Right. So there's got to be a happy medium in there. They should call 911 if there's any kind of suspicious activity going on in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I would always go with your first instinct. If you think something isn't right, or if you have that sense that you should call. This is what we're here for. We're here to help you guys, and we're here to investigate these things. So don't try and rationalize it in your mind. If you see something is wrong, then give us a call.
Okay. Is there any other thing that we can do to help ourselves, our neighbors? in regards to our home? Is lighting up our driveways going to help? Is that, keeping the night lights on longer? Anything like that?
I'm not noticing anything with that. One thing that we have seen is in these hours, it doesn't appear that sometimes they're afraid of the daylight. This is happening on weekends or in the morning where the sun is up. So lighting isn't really going to be an issue. The big thing is, again, is just literally to lock the doors. If your car doors are locked, if things aren't visible, we have, in all of these cases we've had, not one has had a broken glass or forced use to get into them. It's just literally a crime of opportunity where if the door is open, they're going to take the few seconds and look through it.
Well, I guess it's really a really simple solution to a rather large problem that's not just for our city of Palos Heights, but all the area cities as well. Hickory Hills, Palos Hills, Worth, Palos Park, Orland Park, everywhere that you may have friends or relatives, you might want to give them a shout out and tell them the same thing. It's really simple to lock your car door, especially nowadays when you don't have to go around locking every door. You know, it's not like the old days where it wasn't so easy. Now it is. It's really easy, and it's just so. It would be so helpful to you to get those doors locked, and also your house doors as well. You lock up your house. If you're not home, lock it up.
Yeah, lock it out. What I like to think of this is a group effort by everyone here. We have officers that are out every night that are solely out to enforce side street patrol, looking for this offense. So if we work as a team together, the police are out looking for it, we're trying to prevent it, and if we work together with the citizens, then this is something that we can get a grasp on and lower these numbers.
Okay. Okay, well, you heard it. That's something that we're going to all work towards so we can stop this crime going on in our city, and we can all participate so easily. So thank you, Officer Farnitsky, for coming in today. We really appreciate the heads up on this.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching us today. Lock it up. And don't lose it. Lock and lose it. I love
Lock it or lose it.
Lock it or lose it. Click it or ticket. That's, you know, we like these little sayings. So lock it or lose it. And thanks for watching us. See you next time. Bye-bye.